Want to know the secrets of successful real estate investment? You're in the right place. Welcome to the exciting universe of real estate, a world filled with opportunities and immense potential for wealth creation. Today, we're going to delve into the myriad of strategies that could turn your investment into a goldmine. We'll talk about short selling, a strategy that can be rewarding if executed correctly. Then, we'll explore the booming trend of Airbnb, a lucrative avenue for those who know how to play their cards right. Next, we'll venture into the domain of short-term and long-term rentals, a classic and time-tested approach to real estate investment. Lastly, we'll set sail for the alluring world of vacation homes, a luxury that can also be a fruitful investment. So, buckle up and prepare for a thrilling journey into real estate investment. Stay tuned as we delve into these strategies one by one, starting with short selling. Ever heard of short selling in real estate? Sounds complex, doesn't it? Well, it's simpler than you think. Think of short selling as a lifeboat, a strategy that property owners use when they're underwater on their mortgage. That is, when they owe more on their property than what it's currently worth in the market. Now here's how it works. Let's say you're a homeowner in this predicament. Instead of letting your property go into foreclosure, you can negotiate with your lender to sell your home for less than what you owe. If the lender agrees, you can then list your property at a competitive price, attract a buyer, and use the proceeds to repay your lender. Sounds like a win-win, right? Well, not so fast. Short selling is a complex process that requires the approval of your lender, and there's no guarantee that your lender will agree to a short sale, or that a buyer will be interested in your property. But when it does work, it can be a lifesaver. Let's consider a case study. Once upon a time, there was a homeowner named Sally. Sally bought her home in 2007, just before the housing market crash. By 2009, Sally's home was worth less than half of what she owed on her mortgage. Instead of allowing her home to go into foreclosure, Sally proposed a short sale to her lender. After months of negotiations, her lender agreed. Sally listed her home at a competitive price and found a buyer within 3 weeks. The proceeds from the sale covered most of Sally's debt, and her lender forgave the remaining balance. Through short selling, Sally was able to avoid foreclosure, save her credit score, and start fresh. Like Sally, many homeowners have used short selling to navigate tough financial waters. But remember, it's not a strategy for everyone. It requires patience, negotiation skills, and a willingness to take a financial hit. In the right circumstances, short selling can be a profitable strategy, but what about renting out properties on Airbnb? Scene script. Airbnb has revolutionized the way people travel and stay, but can it revolutionize your financial future? Well, let's dive into that. Airbnb works on a simple, yet ingenious principle. It's a platform that connects property owners to travelers looking for unique, comfortable, and often more affordable alternatives to traditional hotels. Now think of it as a real estate investment strategy. Suppose you own a property. It could be a spare room, an apartment, or a full-fledged house. You list it on Airbnb. Travelers book your place. They stay, they pay, and voila. You've just turned your property into a cash-generating machine. But how does this compare to traditional real estate investments? Let's look at a case study. Meet Jane. Jane owns a 2-bedroom apartment in downtown Boston. She chose to list her apartment on Airbnb instead of renting it out traditionally. Jane's apartment, due to its prime location, is booked for about 25 days a month. After accounting for all expenses, including cleaning and maintenance, Jane nets around $3,000 each month. That's a substantial income, especially considering that a traditional rental for the same property would fetch her around $2,000. Of course, Jane's case isn't universal. The success of an Airbnb rental depends on several factors: the location of the property, its condition, the level of service you provide. Even the quality of your listing's photos can dramatically affect your earnings. But here's the kicker. With Airbnb, you aren't locked into a long-term lease. You have the flexibility to use the property as you wish when it's not booked. Need a place for your in-laws to stay? No problem. Want to live in the property yourself for a few months? You got it. So, is Airbnb a viable real estate investment strategy? Absolutely. It has the potential to generate a higher return on your investment than traditional rentals. With the right property and management, Airbnb can be a game changer. But let's not forget about the traditional rental strategies. Scene script. Rentals, the classic real estate investment. But which is better, short-term or long-term? Let's dive right into it. Short-term rentals, like those popularized by Airbnb, provide a more flexible approach to property investment. You have the freedom to use your property when it's not rented out, and more importantly, the potential for higher profits. For instance, consider a two-bedroom apartment in a city with high tourist traffic. Renting it out on a nightly basis could generate much more income than a traditional monthly lease. But it's not always sunshine and rainbows. There are some downsides to consider as well. Short-term rentals can require more hands-on management. You'll need to frequently clean and maintain the property, manage bookings, and handle customer service. Plus, there can be legal issues and restrictions to navigate, depending on your location. Now let's switch gears and talk about long-term rentals. These are your traditional leases, typically spanning 6 months to a year, or even longer. The biggest advantage here is stability. If you've got a reliable tenant, you can expect a steady flow of income each month. This can be particularly appealing to investors who value consistency over higher potential returns. Take the case of a 3-bedroom house in a suburb. Renting it out to a family on a yearly lease could provide a steady income, with less frequent tenant turnovers. However, the potential income might be less than what you could earn from short-term rentals, especially in tourist hotspots. And of course, there are potential drawbacks too. You may have periods of vacancy between tenants, and dealing with problematic tenants can be a headache. Plus, the property might require significant upkeep over time. So, what's the verdict? Well, it's not a one-size-fits-all answer. Both short-term and long-term rentals have their own unique benefits and challenges. Your decision should depend on your personal investment goals, risk tolerance, and the amount of time you're willing to dedicate to managing your property. Both short-term and long-term rentals have their benefits. It's all about what works best for you. Now, let's take a trip to the beach. Scene script. Who doesn't love a vacation? But have you ever thought of investing in a vacation home? Picture this. You're relaxing on the sun-kissed beach of your own vacation home, sipping on a tropical drink, and the best part? You're making money while doing it. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, with a smart investment strategy, this dream can become your reality. Investing in a vacation home can be an exciting venture. Not only do you have a personal retreat to escape to whenever you want, but you also have a potential stream of passive income. When you're not using the property, you can rent it out to vacationers. Depending on the location and the season, the rental income can be quite substantial, offsetting your maintenance costs and even turning a profit. But let's be real, it's not all sunshine and seashells. There are some hurdles to consider. Firstly, the upfront cost can be high, and securing a mortgage for a second home can be more challenging. Secondly, the property would need regular maintenance and management, which can be time-consuming if you're not living nearby. And finally, the income can be seasonal and unpredictable, depending on the popularity of the location. Now, let's take a look at a case study. Meet Jane, a savvy real estate investor. Jane purchased a quaint cottage in the picturesque town of Aspen. She and her family enjoy the property during the ski season, and for the rest of the year, they rent it out to other vacationers. Jane has successfully managed the property remotely, hired a local property management company, and marketed it effectively online. As a result, Jane's Aspen cottage not only pays for itself, but also generates a tidy profit. Investing in a vacation home is a journey, filled with both opportunities and challenges. It's not a decision to be taken lightly, but with careful planning, research, and a dash of daring, it can be a rewarding venture. Investing in a vacation home can be both profitable and enjoyable. But remember, every investment strategy requires careful planning. So, there you have it. The secrets to successful real estate investment. We've journeyed together through the fascinating world of short selling, where timing and market understanding truly reign supreme. Then, we delved into the Airbnb strategy, a dynamic avenue for those who love to host and make the most of their properties. We also explored the realm of short-term and long-term rentals, a classic real estate strategy that requires a keen eye for potential and patience. Last, but certainly not least, we slipped into the relaxing vibe of vacation homes, where location and appeal can generate a substantial return on investment. Each strategy has its own charm, its own set of challenges, and its own potential for success. The key is to understand them, weigh their pros and cons, and align them with your personal investment goals. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all strategy. The best investment is the one that fits your goals, budget, and risk tolerance. So are you ready to step into the world of real estate investment?